Hey y'all, so in my last video, I did a review of the Dollar Tree yarn and I made a hat with it, and a lot of y'all have been asking me for the pattern to the hat or to show you how to make the hat. So that's what I'm doing in this video. I'm going to show you how to make the hat. This is a very simple, basic half double crochet beanie. You can adjust it for any size. You can make it preemie on up to very, very large, you know. Now the hat that I'm going to be showing you how to make is a basic, I want to say about a medium adult size. It's kind of hard in a video to explain to you how to do it for each different size. So what I'm going to do, I will, on my blog, put the pattern for the basic adult medium beanie. And then let me get that posted, and then I can drop below that and I can do the pattern for all the different sizes, okay? But anyway, what we're going to be using here is Red Heart Super Saver. This is a medium 4-weight yarn, and I'm going to be using a size 5mm hook. Now, when I say this is a medium adult hat, it all depends on how loosely or how tightly you crochet, your size of hook. You know, there's a bunch of different variables. So it's easier for you if you just make the hat, you know, fit it to your own head or whoever you're making it for, you know, because crochet clothing can be funny in that way. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a magic circle. If you don't like a magic circle, then you can make a ring, chain 4, join it to make a ring. Now, I have beginner videos that shows you all this stuff, so please look at my beginner crochet video playlist. But for the magic circle, I do mine in a weird way, and I'll try to show you an easier way. A magic circle is just a slip knot that is not finished, okay? So just make a slip knot, bring it around, bring up that loop, and stop. That loop right there, put your hook in there, and you've now made a magic circle. So what you're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and now you're going to work 8 half double crochet into that magic circle. So a half double crochet, you loop over, go into that loop, grab your yarn and pull it up. You now have 3 loops, wrap it around and pull it through all 3. That's a half double. So you're going to do 8 of those. That was 1. I'm trying to go slow for the beginners. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Now we're going to tighten this up. So you're going to just grab your free tail here, hold on to your work with your fingers over here, and just pull gently and tighten that up. Okay. Just work it back over here, tighten it up a little bit. Okay. Moving on to round number 2. Now we're going to be working this hat in the round. We're not just going to be doing like a round join and then chain. We're going to be working continuously like in a spiral. That way you eliminate that crooked seam that runs down hats, you know, when you work them in individual rounds. So what we're going to do now is we are going to work 2 half double crochet in each of the half double crochets we just made. This is going to be an increase. So the easiest way to do this is if you look here, this is your first one, count back 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that right there is going to be your first half double crochet. Work into that. And you're going to work 2. Because like I said, you're going to work 2 in each of the stitches that we just made. Okay, now because we made a magic circle, this is always how I do mine. I've had people to tell me that I'm wrong, and I say, well, I've got a wall full of blue ribbons over here that says that I know what I'm doing. So I don't ever like to just work over the tail when it comes to the magic circle, because then you run a high risk of it coming undone. So I just knot it like so. Let's do that 3 times. Okay, now I'm going to trim this tail off, but yet I'm going to leave enough to weave in later. All right, so now you're just going to do 2 half double crochets, like I said, in each of the half double crochets we made. So we just did 2. So let me try to zoom in. Wow, not out. There we go. I just did 2. So now we're going to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, sorry, 15, 16. Okay? Okay. So now that we have all 16 of our half double crochets, we are now going to move on to row number 3, or round number 3 rather. And because we are going to be increasing again, we are going to abide by the rules of increasing in crochet. So for the 3rd round, you're going to do a half double, 2 half doubles, half double, 2 half doubles, half double, 2 half doubles, all the way around. Now I'm going to mark mine here, and I have stitch markers, yes, but I always like to use a piece of yarn. This is just the way that I do it. So let's lay that yarn there. So I know that when I get back to that yarn, I'm at the end of the row. And it helps because then you really don't have to count. Okay, so this is your next stitch. You're going to do half double. In the next stitch, you're going to do 2 half double. See, now we're increasing. We're making it bigger. Half double. I'm stuck. 2 half double. Half double. 2 half double. Let's get some yarn. And you're going to do this all the way around. Okay? Let me work on this, and I'll be back. Row number 4, or round. I'm so used to saying rows. All right. So we just did 1 half double and then 2 half double. So now we're going to do half double, and then 2 half double. Okay? So we increased going by 1 half double and then 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we're going to do 2, 2, 2, 2, if that makes any sense. So you're going to start off, you're going to do 2 half double. There's 1. And then into the next one, you do 1. Now into the next stitch, 2 together. Just like that. Okay? So half double, and then 2 in the same stitch. Half double, 2 in the same stitch. Okay, half, 2 in the same stitch. Okay, do that all the way around. Moving right along. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we are moving on to 1, 2, 3. What am I doing here? I don't rightly know. Moving on to the next round, we're going to be doing 3 half double crochet and then 2 in the same stitch. Okay, so you're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and then 2 in the next stitch. See, we're still increasing. You go 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 2 in the next one. Do it again. We'll go 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the next one. All right, so now you're going to do that all the way around, and then we'll come back for the next one. Let me move my marking yarn here. Okay, now moving on, we're going to be doing 4 and then 2 together, or 2 in the same stitch. So in this one, you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 in the same stitch. Let's get more yarn here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 in the same stitch. It's going to start curling a little bit. Don't worry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 in the same stitch. Okay, now repeat that all the way around till you get back to your mark. Okay, now we are going to be increasing again. We're going to be doing 5 and then 2 in the same stitch. Okay, so do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 in this one. Okay, all right, let's do it again, and it's really starting to curl now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 2 in this one, and then you just repeat that all the way around. 3, 4, 5, and then 2 in this one. All right, I'll be back. All right, moving right along. So now we're going to be doing 6 half double crochets and then our 2 in the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 in the same stitch. Like I said earlier, I am trying to go slower than what I normally would, so that you can actually see what I'm doing, okay? Now, my videos for beginners, I go really, really slow, you know, so that you can actually learn the stitches. But projects like this are aimed more towards, you know, just something easy that you can do, not necessarily, you know, slowed way, way down. You know, I tried to do that in the beginning. But, you know, if I do that with the rest of it, the video will be incredibly long. And with me putting, like, the words up above, I hope that helps to learn how to read patterns. I know a lot of people tell me that they can't read patterns. And reading patterns can be so tricky. It really can. Because you know what? Everybody that writes a pattern writes it a little bit differently. You know, they have their own way that they like to do things. I have my way that I like to do things. Now, something like this beanie pattern, it's old, you know, it's basic. I mean, there's only so many different ways that you can make a half double crochet beanie, and you could find 150 patterns out there, and probably 80% of them are going to have the exact same stitch counts. You know, something simple like this, there's really only so many different ways that you can write it. But, you know, when you get into more elaborate patterns, everyone has their own writing style. And I'm hoping that the words up above here are helping y'all to learn how to read patterns. Let's see. So that was 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, we need to do 2 right here. I know my grandma taught me how to crochet, but she didn't teach me how to read patterns. You know, I had to learn how to do that when I got older. So I hope I'm helping somebody. So this is 4, 5, 6. And why did I say that I know that I'm not going slowly? Well, it's very difficult to film crochet videos, okay? It's difficult to do because there are people out there where you're not going slow enough or you're going too slow. You know, it's one of those things that you're never going to make everybody happy. So this is the way that I'm doing it. And that's that, you know. Sometimes you just got to do it the way you want to do it. But anyway, we're almost to the end of this row here. 3, 4, 5, whoopsie, 6. So I don't think I'm going to cut the video. I'll just keep going. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I can count to 6. All right. So now for our, you know what, let me write on my piece of paper over here. I'm writing this down so I can keep track of what I'm doing. All right. So in our next one here, we're going to be doing 7 and then 2 together. Okay. So 7 half double crochets and then 2 in the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 in the same stitch. Now you're going to repeat that all the way around till you get back to your mark. Okay, so we were doing 7 half doubles and then our increase. So now we're done increasing. We're done with our increase rows. So now what we're going to do is just work our way straight down for the rest of the hat. Before we do that, let's take a minute and talk about jewelry. My rings here and my bracelet. This is from Paparazzi. If you'll look in the description box, I will have a link to my paparazzi page. Click on that link, click on the shop button, and you can see all the jewelry that is available. So now what we're going to do next is pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. I'm going to put my marking yarn back. Would you work with me? So now what we're going to do is just half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. No more increases. This is just straightforward half double crochet, okay? And you're going to do that for 10 rows. 10 rows is usually works for me. Okay, now depending on how far you want your hat to come down, I like mine to come like right above my eyebrows. So usually 10 rows, right around in there. You may want to do fewer than 10. You may want to do more than 10. But I would say a good place to start is 10. And then I'll put it on and then, you know, see if I want to adjust it. Because sometimes, depending on what time of day I'm crocheting, sometimes my stitches can be a little bit looser or a little bit tighter. So, you know, and that, I've already mentioned this before, that is the hard thing when it comes to, you know, showing how to make garments and things like that. Until you actually get the yarn in your hand and you're actually working on the project, it can be tough to tell you exactly how many rows and such to do, you know. But for now, we're just going to do 10. 10 rounds, round and round and round. And then that should be good. But anyway, I'm going to work on that. And then we'll come back and we will take a look and see what I got. Alrighty then, so I have all 10 of my half double crochet rows done, and this is the yarn I used to mark. I'm just going to pull that out, and now we are going to finish off our project. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut a length of yarn here. Alright, now if you take a look, this is the last half double crochet stitch that I did. Now if we just finish off here, then you're going to have a bump right there, okay, between the end and the beginning of this area over here. You don't want that. So what we're going to do is, because we have half double crochets that we're working with, we want to step it down so that it's at an angle, okay? So on this next stitch, do a single crochet, and then you want to do a slip stitch. Just grab your yarn and pull it through. Okay, I'm just going to chain one and then pull all the way through. Okay, now see how you tapered it down? Now it just goes straight across. All right, so now you're just going to use a yarn needle and work away your end, and you're finished. Now let me show you how I do mine. Okay, this is the inside here. So let's go through, actually let's go this way. I don't so much as go under the stitch like this as I try to go through the stitch. So I went kind of through that one. Let's go kind of through that one. I'm kind of going in between the fibers of the stitches. Why do I do that? Because it helps the yarn to grab onto itself, and it gives you a sturdier finish is what it does, so that the yarn doesn't pull out as easily. All right, pull through like so. I'll stretch it just a little bit because it's going to stretch when you put it on. Now we're going to go back in the opposite direction, and you see kind of how I went through that stitch there. Go through another fiber and another fiber. I'll go up this way a little bit. Go through that stitch. Through. Let's go through and then pull it like that. And then I go back again. I always go back and forth 3 times, okay? 3 times. That way it's very, very difficult to get the end to pull out if you go 3 times, okay? All right. Got that, and then I will work away the end that is down in here at a later time because the video has been long enough. But I just do that in the same way, okay? Now this one fits me perfectly. It's not too loose and it's not too tight. On my 10-year-old little boy, it fits him just fine too. It's just a little bit looser on him. But like I said, it's kind of difficult to show, how to make things that are fitted, like hats and things like that. But this is a very, very basic pattern. And once you get this pattern down, you can use different types of yarn, variegated yarn, different colors. You can make it bigger or smaller. But like I said, let me get this very basic pattern. I'll get it all typed up. I'll put it on my blog. If you'll look in the description box, I'll have a link to it. If you click on the link right now, and if the pattern is not there, just give me a minute. Know that I'm working on it. And I'm going to have it up soon. And then I'll go back at a later date because I'm pressed for time. I'll go back at a later date and I'll try to put in the patterns on how to make it bigger or smaller. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you would, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, check me out on other forms of social media, links to all of which will be in the description box down below, and I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.